Hi, my name is Joanna Reynolds with Pink Cactus Studio, and today we're going to be painting these fall pumpkins. They're super cute, super whimsical. Let's get started. So you're just going to need orange, yellow, white, black, light green, dark green, and red. All right, here we go.
Start by painting the entire canvas black, edge to edge, top to bottom, and you can even do like the outside edges here. Let that dry. And once that's dry, you're going to start drawing the big pumpkin, and I'm just using white, and it's sort of a C shape, but don't curve the bottom. So you've just got this curve like a C, and then mirror that on the other side. I wanted mine a little bit wider, so I went out a little bit more, and then you'll make the second one that's smaller in front. And it's just a C shape, kind of like a heart and a C put together, but don't worry about the bottom because there's going to be something later. Fill that in with white. This doesn't have to be perfect here. This is just to prime the area so that the orange and everything and the yellow stands out really nicely. And we'll add the little stem to the pumpkins. So these are nice big long stems that are going to curve, and they sort of like start skinny and get wider as you get closer to the pumpkin. And then you can add this little like curly Q on the end. Fill that in with white, and it sort of flares out at the bottom. So I messed up here. I did like a question mark. Don't do a little question mark. Do more like you did up top. And this is me trying to fix that. And then you can add a little curly Q as well. And fill that in. So now we're filling in the pumpkin areas with orange, but at the top we're adding these curves. Don't worry about the bottom yet, just fill it all in with orange. And it's just the top has these little curves. So wherever you put a curve, that's kind of where there's a lump in the pumpkin. And then you'll do that same thing with the small one. You're going to add red to the bottom of each little lumpy area. So kind of imagine the lumps at the top are the same at the bottom. And you're adding red down here to create a nice shadow. So I had started with those like fanning out lines, and then I moved to a curved line. It's really up to you. I prefer the fanning out lines, and you'll see it later. This right here instead of like a round line, but it's up to you. And then you'll darken up like the in-betweens of the big lumps. So that's anywhere the lumpy line goes down. And you're just darkening up the bottom and then those lines. On the left, they curve to the left, and on the right, they curve to the right. So you'll do the same thing with your big pumpkin. So you're just darkening up the bottom. You can fan it out or you can curve it like this. Either way is totally fine. And then just darken up where those lumpy lines connect. And it's okay if it's blending in with the orange. You kind of want it to blend in with the orange. Same thing, the orange earlier might have blended in with the white that you had there. It's totally fine. That helps it blend out everywhere. And then you'll add orange to the top of everything. It is making it darker, but we'll lighten it up in just a little bit. We just want our pumpkins to be nice and orange. That's just in the top areas, and you can blend it down to the bottom too. That's totally fine. And sort of let it curve with the curve. So if your curve is going to the left, that's going to go to the left too. So then we'll add the little spiral. It makes it a little whimsical, a little magical. And I'm just using white here, and it is blending a lot with the orange because the orange is not dry yet, and that's totally fine. We can go back later and lighten that up. So you have a spiral, and then you give it like a tail. And then these on the left and right side of it, you'll just give a little highlight to the top. And I had to wipe off my brush there because it had a lot of transfer from the orange. And just lighten up the top of each of the lumpies. And here's the spiral for the small one. So you just start with a little spiral, and then this one I did like a backwards curve. Just so they're not like the same. And then you've got a little highlight on each of the lumpies. And then we'll fill in the stems with the light green first. Do both stems. And then you're going to feather in some of the dark green. So down at the bottom, I'm just making these little lines that are going in the direction of the stem that I've got. So they sort of branch out at the bottom and then go through the whole stem, and they blend with the lime green. So at the bottom, we're making these like leafy shapes, and I was having a really hard time with them. So I scratched that and then tried something new. So if you make these like zigzag leaf shapes that are sort of overlapping with each other, and just start with the lighter green around the outside edge, and it's just a little zigzag that goes kind of in a circle. It's okay, I don't really know what I'm doing. Just make leaf shapes, zigzag shapes, fill that in with your lighter color. It'll be fine. It'll look like the pumpkins are sitting in their like leafy patch. If you want to look up what a pumpkin leaf looks like and do that, by all means, please do that. So now I'm adding white to all of the highlights that we did. And then I'm just adding white to pretty much everything. It adds a little sparkle, it adds a little light to it. It makes it a little more fun. Just wherever you're like, it's a little dark right here, add a little highlight. Or this area needs something, add a little highlight. And you can add these white highlights anywhere. I added one down there to each lumpy, add them in the stem, just have fun with them. And then you're going to start to add some bigger circles in the sky or in the background. So you want a variety of sizes for these circles. They could be stars, they could be magic dust, they could be whatever you want them to be. So you want a variety of sizes and let them sort of go everywhere. And then over here, so see how I wiped off the paint off my brush? So I could make these really light, fluffy spirals in the sky. Very little paint on the brush. And then you can add like a little circle there that goes with the new spiral that you just made. And so very little paint on the brush. They're very wispy in the sky. You can add this here if you want to. It sort of mirrors the swirls that are happening in the pumpkins and sort of brings it up high to tie in the sky. So it creates unity if you put some up there. You can even put more up there if you want. You can put them wherever you want. This is your painting. You can make more swishies in the sky. So I'm adding yellow everywhere. And this is brightening up our pumpkin, and it's really tying in that orangey Halloween feel. I went ahead, I wanted it darker down lower, so I just added a little more red there. It's totally fine. You can do that. You can paint on top of paint. Nothing is permanent. You can always make adjustments and change it. So I'm just adding yellow to all my white areas, and I'm going to do that even in the stem. Oh, I should have added it down in the leaves. You can add some in the leaves if you want to. I really like the way that yellow looks. Add yellow down there. Okay. Good thinking, me, past me, and future me. Add yellow down here. And now it's time for the black outline. So you want to make sure you have a good amount of paint on your brush so that it's not like a dotted line. It flows really nicely. And just sort of take your time and go for it and believe in yourself. So I started with the lumpies. I think I should have started with the center lumpy, but it's totally fine. So I would start with the lumpies, and you're just outlining everything, even the outside edge of everything, cleaning that all up, even your little one. And then when you get to the leaves, you can sort of outline them like they are all separate leaves. Just a zigzag in an oval. I don't like this little lump that I made there, but it's fine. You know, I could go back and change it or just leave it. I'm pretty sure I mess with it later. So just these zigzags that are overlapping each other, and they end up looking like little leaves or little lettuce, things like that. And then you can go in and add some darker shades in there. If you want to get really technical and look up what pumpkin leaves look like, go for it. Take your time. You're in no hurry. This is your time. This is your painting.
Thank you so much for painting with me today. I hope you had fun. I had fun. Let me know in the comments what you thought, and also show me your pictures. I can't wait to see you. Tag Pink Cactus Studio. All right, bye.